Welcome in, everybody, to the 22nd episode of Mother's Jail. For those of you who are watching live or keeping up week to week, yes, we're actually running a game 2 weeks in a row. It's actually happening. The stars have aligned.
I knocked on wood for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually was like, oh, God, don't let the power go out. But yes, we are back. So good to have you all along. Last time when we all got together, the party had returned to the city of Highwall after their spooky encounter with Gus out in the forests outside the city. And some catch-up had to happen as the party learned that Arya has gone missing, and search groups have been dispatched for her. Though it was not too hard to figure out probably where she went, given that she didn't just go missing. She actually told her party that she was going to help you, and then just left. And it was pretty easy to figure out that she's probably gone off in search of her mama. Ramiel had a very heartwarming conversation, both with Canis and with General Tashira. Brayley is a little different. Brayley is dealing with the trauma of having been eaten by a giant fungus monster.
She got put in the Gussie.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, no.
I no,
Oh,
no,
no.
That's bad as the
it's
labium.
cursed. Everything's cursed.
Why?
She was, she got eaten by Gus. And in helping to restore nature to what it should be there, she awakened her choker of fauna, which has made her a little bit more wolf-like, as she has become more and more of a werewolf. Now, whenever she gets hungry, she basically goes full werewolf.
Hungry in multiple ways, as it turns out, by the way.
Possibly, yes. Ayla
Just like
is...
the Snickers commercial.
Ayla is making peace with the fact that she probably descends from an ancient Alcanin and is now has cool horns to go with her wings and a tail. So she's making do with that. Layla also got to meet a interesting individual as she spoke to He Who Is Between, a cosmic dragon of the stars who claims to be the brother of the Prime Goddess and the first of the ascended deities that we have met in this game, besides the Prime Goddess herself, who used to be an ascended deity. She actually no longer is. But yes, everyone had a chance to catch up a little bit. I know there are a few more conversations that we wanted to do in the city of Highwall, but do not worry. While you have all been hard at work ridding the area of fungus demons, your planned assault on Fort Argenti has been in the planning. And tonight's session is titled Preemptive Strike. So, we'll kind of pick up around where we left off as you'd all awakened the next morning, having finally gotten some decent rest.
Mel needs to know if she's in jail.
Mal?
If Ramiel's in jail.
Yeah, we'll get to you, Ramiel. You're not available at the moment, but we'll get to you. Anyone else, what would you all like to do?
Did Asuka like her dream sex with Rashira?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Rashira is in a great mood this morning,
Of
and
course
so
she
is Asuka.
Happy for him. Well, Nova's gonna be heading to the mess hall, I think, to see whoever is gonna show up.
Yep, most people do show up for breakfast that morning. You note that Ramiel is conspicuously absent. However, Layla and Ayla are there. As Brayley comes down a little bit later, still looking a little bit different. But she's not a werewolf right now. She just has been quiet. Brayley, I almost said Sunvale. Arkwright.
Hey now.
yeah.
Just because they're the same person. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
They're not.
but where's the lie? Kelsifer stayed with you for most of the day. He didn't say a whole lot else. He just tried to be there as much as he could be. But he has now gone on to do some of his duties for the day. So yeah, you make your way down, and the four of you are there for breakfast.
I would ask where our masculine companion is, but I'm going to assume he is perhaps at the infirmary.
Would we call him masculine?
All right, that's fair.
I mean,
Our
more so than
Mhm.
us.
our companion using he. Our companions that is in the between the elven and draconian persuasion. Is that better? Ramiel. I'm talking about Ramiel. He's not here.
I mean, I
Anyway.
got who you meant, but it was really funny to just watch you dig the hole.
Yeah, I was fine with you just continuing on until you felt comfortable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. How was everyone feeling this morning?
Odd.
Odd.
I had something of a vision last night.
A vision?
Yeah. I was out walking and well, I was laying here and I felt something calling me. I went outside and followed it, and on the beach I saw a dragon in the stars.
You did not imbibe in anything before you did your walk, did you?
No.
Okay,
Was
just
it
check.
Brayley's secret stash?
No, I assure you, I was quite of sound mind. Which is why it is odd.
I feel like if you're here, the sound mind thing is already questionable, but, alright.
Who is this dragon in the stars exactly?
How would Layla phrase it was a bunch of cryptic stuff?
Yeah, you'd probably say something to the effect of your
I
guess
got
is
a-
as good as mine.
I got a bunch of cryptic world building.
You did do that.
No, I'll just relay the whole thing to them because it's just sharing the information. No need to rehash it out in super big detail. She just shared the words, said it was the brother of the prime goddess and everything. And after all this is done and we get the opportunity, I think I might want to consult with some religious scholars.
I don't know who else could help you. We've got someone who is transforming from an old god, someone who is transforming from an old dead people, and now we have someone who is talking about a brother of the prime goddess.
So perhaps a group trip is in order then.
Actually,
I
are
don't
we
know
sure
about.
this isn't already a group trip? We
I-
all did breathe the gust fumes.
I'm normal. I don't know what you all are on. That's a lie. That's a joke. I'm not normal. I'm just not that.
Based on the circumstantial evidence of others, I would say that no, it is not such a thing, although it is worth keeping in mind.
So what do we do with that? Who are you supposed to be searching for?
Well, I don't know at this juncture, and I don't just sort of trail off and shrug.
Very well, more mysteries upon mysteries, I suppose.
So what's for breakfast?
I think it is a buffet, no? Do you want me to get you some sausage and bacon?
I can get it. Braylee's ears are gonna pop. Hunger's hitting.
That food radar.
I feel like Ayla visibly restrains herself from giving more ear scritches.
How are you feeling, Braylee?
Right now hungry.
Fair. That is fair.
If it's not too forward, when this is all over, I would also be interested in giving you an examination, seeing if anything could be determined about your current circumstances.
Oh, I guess. I have more abs when I'm hungry than when I'm not, so that's cool. I don't know.
But-
Eyes go out of focus for a moment.
I'm gonna. Braylee just like piles up food and like starts to eat. I'm just gonna take care of this.
Eat however much you wish. It doesn't bother us.
Across town, in the brig, there is it's a building that has been repurposed into a temporary military jail. It is just a few simple cells. Ramiel, you are sitting in one of these cells, currently wearing only a sheet that you've been given to wrap yourself in. Canis is similarly topless and has only his breeches on. And standing outside the cell, just pinching the bridge of her nose, is your commanding officer. All right. So I'll be blunt with you. I expect this kind of shit out of Ayla and Nova.
Hey now. It was one time.
You do understand that the rules do still apply to you, right?
I do, yes.
Okay, great.
There's unfortunately not much I can do when he can overpower me to a frightening degree.
That would ring a lot more true if you weren't practically drooling.
Well, I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, she looks at Canis. So this is your fault. And Canis thinks about it for a moment before nodding. I'm good with it. Yeah, it's my fault. I stand by it, and I'd do it again. Great.
Would you?
They give a look that says, "Try me." Okay. So you two are both officers in this army, which does mean you are supposed to be an example.
There's setting an example, all right. Just a random guard says that.
Listen,
You're-
how were we supposed to know that there was a drunkard in that alley we ducked into who just so happened to be. Well. We seem to have fulfilled something in them.
Eyes, I would say. Eyes are how you're supposed to know. You look with them.
Hey, hon, you don't have music. Sorry, I just noticed.
Oh, yeah, and the
Sorry,
the
folks.
vi-
Oh, it is on stream, though. Okay. I was like, yes, I forgot to share my screen here. Share. Well, boom.
That's good. Okay, sorry.
Hey,
No worries.
watch. There we go.
Ramiel, your clothes have been sent for cleaning. But, outside of that, I suppose it wouldn't mean much to say don't do it again.
We will try to at least find a private room next time.
Canis seems to think about that. I
Private
guess.
room.
As long as someone doesn't go around thinking they get to be on top, sure.
Ah, that's what you're I see. Well, that's going to be a bit of a problem then.
You know what? I've changed my mind. You all can spend the morning in here. And she walks off.
Don't we have some sort of duties to attend to, Commander?
Yes, you certainly do.
Can't rightly do that from in here, can we?
She unlocks the door. It is a God give me strength look on her face.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a religious woman, but y'all are testing her. And she departs as Canis just flashes you this wolfish grin. Wow, that was fun.
Yes, it was. You could have given me a little bit of forewarning next time you do something like that. I don't think I'm much of a public exhibitionist type of person.
Fair enough. Well, it's private in here.
No, we shan't.
He
We
shrugs.
could find a private room next to Ryan. Give him a show.
I feel like it's hard enough for him to not get out of that bed. I don't think we need to make it harder.
Yes, we absolutely can.
Ouch. Cruel.
Meanwhile,
I'm just gonna take Brayley aside for a sec, if that's okay.
go right ahead.
I don't know if you're getting up to get food. I don't know what you're doing. But anyway, Noah's just going to approach you real quick and just say, honestly, I think Sorry, forgot my accent. Honestly, I think the wolfish ears suit you.
And the tail and the face.
Yes. I think they all suit you. I mean, if you do not like it, that's frustrating. But so don't let my opinion shift anything, but just in case it helps.
It's a adjustment.
It seems like an adjustment. I had it easy. It was just a hair color for me. You and Ayla have something bigger going on.
Yeah. She's got horns.
And a tail. How are you really feeling?
I'm not sure. Well, Brayley kind of sinks back into herself. It was a lot. Just trying to process everything, and it seemed like a lot happened all at once, didn't it? It's not just me.
It did. Nova just kind of gently places a hand on your shoulder. I am sorry. I couldn't stop it from what happened to you.
No one could, I guess.
I don't know.
If it wasn't for... I mean, Ayla got eaten too. If it wasn't for, it could have ended really badly.
We have had... Sorry, go ahead.
It's just hard to get past that. The being lost in there. It was not great. It was just like infinite darkness and being trapped in something. Being suffocated.
It's awful. I wish you didn't have to go through that. We have had many close calls, I think, but this one is
Many.
probably the closest. And I was utterly powerless.
I got Wolfie and Ayla got extra horny, and there's just a lot of changes. It's hard to. We didn't make it. We almost didn't make it.
No. And
But now I'm hungry.
yes, that sounds, yes, but being hungry also means you're alive. So, I don't know. I think just know that I wish you hadn't had to be so alone in there, but you are not alone now. For what it's worth. But yes,
I
it
didn't
is.
feel alone before. I think it's just hard to. I can't find the words. It's hard to not. I feel alone now, where I didn't feel alone before.
Do you want to be alone now? In general, I mean.
I just think I want someone or want to feel like someone's there, because there's a moment there where it's like, whoa, it's just me, and I couldn't protect myself. It's just, I think I just have to think some things through.
Okay.
Do you want some sausage?
That sounds good.
Speaking of sausage, there's a bit of a commotion as a moment later, Ramiel enters into the building wearing just a large sheet, followed by Canis, who is topless, his chest just bound, and wearing breeches other than that. And they're getting a bit of a rousing cheer as they enter.
Really, this is what I come back to cheering, not, other matters.
No, everyone seems very happy to see you.
We didn't get cheers, I say to
say
Ayla.
I dare say
Apple's
you are
jealous.
successfully raising their spirits.
And
Among
some-
other things.
Among other things.
I am going to God, what's the word for it? I'm gonna commandeer a nearby soldier's cape
Yeah.
and wrap that around Canis.
You're able to do so, and once you're back at the barracks, you're able to get up to your room and, get some proper clothes on until your clothing is returned to you. A little while later that morning, Commander Alspeth arrives and sits down at the table that Braylee, Ayla, and Layla and Nova are at, and Ramiel, you join as you're able to get dressed.
Something more decent.
Yes. Good morning, everybody.
Excellent morning to all.
Morning.
Some more than others.
Indeed.
I trust you're all recovering okay. I know it was quite a harrowing experience out there.
I kind of eye Brayley before looking back. At the end of the day, we are lieutenants, yes?
You are.
Ayla just kind of shrugs. I mean, like, maybe got my head stuck in the wall at one point, but you know, here.
I was meaning to ask about that, but I'm pretty sure the answer will just make me mad, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that be. She notes you also, Brayley, in your werewolf form. Right. Well,
But
our initial intel from Fort Argenti has come back, and we're able to start planning the attack on the city if you are all up to it.
Very well. What is the plan?
Fort Argenti is a walled fortress that sits on the eastern bank of Horn Bay. It's home to about 8,000 soldiers, plus their families, and represents the bulk of the Silver Horde's forces outside of their capital. Silver Horde, as I said before, has been somewhat lax in their military contributions to this war, one way or the other. Their home city, Argenti's Dominion, is surrounded on three sides by massive icy peaks, and on the other side, it opens only to a portion of the ocean that is accessible at most a couple months of the year. So, to say that they are well defended is, to say the least of it. To that end, their ventures out into the rest of the continent have been very limited. Silverreach and Fort Argenti are the only two real examples now that High Wall has fallen.
So they mostly just have to sit there and wait for us to come to them.
That is what they've spent most of this war effort doing. While they have laid claim to these territories, they have not defended them to any real length. They have been mostly defended by the fact that there are so many opposing forces in the area that, well, no one's really bothered to mount an offensive against them. They're busy fighting each other. It is our hope that by getting in and making this attack relatively quickly, we might be able to remove them from the equation altogether and not have to worry about protecting our flank.
The element of surprise, as they say.
As it were. Now,
Probably worth thinking that our element of surprise with the airship is blown and that's not going to work twice.
I would expect that word of their defeat at Fort Red Rock would at least have them preparing for a more aerial defense next time around. It was recommended by Captain Akanai that we take to a amphibious assault, sailing around into Horn Bay itself and attacking from the rear. Horn Bay is notoriously icy, and the fleet of the Argenti is designed with that in mind. They sail ironclad ships that are meant for tearing through the ice. To that end, I'm not willing to commit or risk our navy in icy waters like that where we might be torn to shreds. So it will be a ground assault. Captain Akanai has informed me of her distaste with that decision, and I have reminded her that she is my subordinate and not the other way around, in no simple terms.
So we should probably expect her to disobey orders and show up anyways?
Ayla, it warms the cockles of my heart that I don't have to explain between the lines to you.
Well, may I
Unless-
Well, I
present?
see then.
Unless we find some way to persuade her. Does anyone have any pull with the captain?
Or, yes, or
Discreet cough.
I have another suggestion that might be crazy.
Well, I won't say that we haven't dabbled in the crazy so far. Lay it on me.
What if we commandeer one of those iron ships?
Commandeer it.
Or just take it.
Well. You're suggesting a pirate raid.
Something in the avenue of Captain Akanai's expertise.
Exactly.
That
She-
would be something. It seems strategically sound.
She leans back in her chair thinking about that. Her crew would have to cross on land, which is not their strong point, but were they to be able to commandeer one of these ships, assuming they can figure out how to maneuver it properly, a piracy run along the coast might disrupt communications and supplies, and most importantly, Silverreach may not be able to get reinforcements down if communications are interrupted.
It's just an idea from Little.
Again, something
like
of a
this plan.
gamble, but it would give us that element of surprise once again.
And it would direct Captain Akonai's energy towards something more fruitful.
She looks at you, Layla. Would you care to broach the subject with the good captain?
I will, if that's your wish. Tentatively, I think she would find it appropriately daring, but
She's
I will
made clear
report
that should I board her ship to speak with her, I may find myself at the bottom of the bay. So, I'll allow you to go and speak with the good captain.
very well.
Unfortunately, I can't tell you much about the leader of Fort Argenti. It is currently unknown to us, but given that there is roughly 8,000, I'll be sending you with 16,000 for the assault itself. Assuming a successful piracy raid by Captain Akonai's crew, and assuming wise tactics, 16,000 should be enough for you to take the fort.
Very well. Since someone has a captain to convince.
I don't need to remind you that we are here in a capacity of trying to end this war, and we do not intend to rule over a throne of ash when we are done. While you have leave to do as you see fit in the conquering of the city, I do not want to hear any reports of improprieties committed upon the civilians there.
Absolutely not.
Heavens, no.
Layla will keep us straight, don't worry.
Too late for that.
Well,
that
that's fair.
would be a
That seems
possible path.
unlikely.
Alright, she'll keep us good.
Please understand that when I say that, I'm not referring to you all. I'm referring to the people under your command. Soldiers at war tend to take advantage of situations.
Then we keep our eyes open, y'all. Y'all? I'm so sorry. Then we keep our eyes open.
My word.
I know, sorry. It's just because I say y'all in my
No,
natural
I get it.
linguistics.
We
So
will
then-
make it abundantly clear that no harm to civilians will come.
So
I
that's-
can't.
Go ahead.
I believe I can speak for all of us when I say that we understand, as those in command, we are ultimately responsible.
She nods. Yes,
We
you
need-
are.
We need to make an example if anyone falls out of line. Make it quick, make it easy, make it public.
Precisely so. Well, then I will begin preparing a column of 16,000 to move out. I will begin working on the supply logistics for you all. As always, you are welcome to take whom you wish, conscript whichever individuals you believe will be of assistance to you. And, well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
She nods.
Well then, Layla has the good captain to speak to, but we should decide who else will be part of this mission and who is better to stay here.
I need to find that document again. More assets. There we are.
And
I will tell you that outside of Captain Akanai, no one in the Azure's remembrance may be taken for this mission.
Okay.
As they are obviously
Busy elsewhere.
well, they've just been banned from going because the
Yeah.
waters are not suitable to actual attacks here.
Yep.
However, you may take people in the Mitra Glorianda Air Navy, in the Children of the Deep. Yeah, any of them is fine. That is up to you. Except for
So-
Orion, who is not fit to travel.
Is there a way we can update this, like add a column
Yeah.
somewhere?
You know what? We're actually going to use a coloration chart.
Ooh.
Apple,
Oh.
what the fuck does that mean?
What do you think
How
it
you ended
means?
up in jail?
I didn't even think about that.
Like, hello?
Oof. Oof. Be careful what you say, man. That's pretty funny, though.
Oops. Red for unavailable. And we'll do. Nope, that's not the right one.
It's another damn train going by.
I actually don't hear it.
Good. It's annoying.
Damn it.
Ah! That is a very harsh, those are very harsh colors.
Sorry, those are what I can see.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I appreciate those actually.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that has been discussed with
Yeah.
that is that y'all tend to favor those very saturated
Yeah,
colors.
because those are the ones that we can see.
Yeah, I explained to Callie one day. I was like, I don't know how else to explain, but for like my eyes, compared to what you can see, they're just too bright. But I mean, it's just a difference of some, it's kind of at the end of the day, everyone's got a different way of
Bodies
seeing
are
things.
weird.
Bodies are weird, man.
fucking sucks.
Color's weird, man.
Okay.
Except if it's purple.
So,
Purple light.
yes, green are available currently, red are unavailable, and yellow is wounded and therefore unavailable.
Would that also, what do you call it? Would that also, apply to the army and companies?
You don't need to worry about them. They will be decided by Tessa. Tessa will take care of requisitioning the proper army for you all.
Gotcha. Okay. Honestly,
Alright.
maybe like Yuki and Melisandre.
They might be, yeah, I think they'd be good. Probably not worry about, well, we could have Kelsey, but if we're not going to use the airship, then I don't really see a reason to bring her.
Wait, no, Ari's not
Mhm.
available.
I was going to say, yeah, Ari is not available. Maybe
And
Rainer,
Lillian,
Asuka?
Lillian is doing the requisitioning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is going to be handling a piracy raid for you all, assuming Layla is able to convince her.
I think it's a great idea.
How many units can we take with us?
As many as you want.
It's just
Okay.
it's just risking. It's one of those like risk reward things.
Whoever's there is at risk of being injured in the battle.
Okay.
So while you are all discussing who's going to go, Layla, you excuse
Yeah.
yourself politely and head on over down to the docks and find your way aboard the Lady in Waiting. The deckhands there have now gotten used to you being on the ship and don't give you any hassle when you move to board. You get the sense that they have been warned that if they do give you a hard time, they will pay the price for it. But as you board the ship, you actually do see Lillian. She's not in the captain's quarters at the moment. She is near the front of the deck and is in the process of helping to repair damage to the ship taken in the last battle. It's actually quite unusual to see a captain actively working on repairs herself. But it is an excuse to see her working in just breeches and some wraps. So that's nice enough anyway. As she is
would very politely just sit to the side and wait.
Yep, she is currently straddling the railing of it and has kind of leaned over to replace a wooden board, and she kind of glances at you out of the corner of her eye as you approach. Good morning.
Good morning. I have something to discuss, but it can wait.
She chuckles. Like what you see, do you?
It is a pleasant view, yes.
She chuckles at that. And pushes herself up off the railing before walking over towards you. Well, go ahead. Am I being sent home? Stripping me of my rank?
No, have you... Oh, shit. What was the city name again?
Fort Argenti is where you're going.
Okay. No, it was... The assault on Fort Argenti was being discussed.
Ah, your shit for brains commander wouldn't let me take the fleet over there.
Well, an alternative has been proposed that I think you might find enjoyable.
She raises an eyebrow, crosses her arms. All right.
What if we would proceed overland, and once there, acquire one of their ships?
One of their iron monstrosities that they sail over there?
Yes. I thought you might consider that you and your crew might consider that something of a worthy adventure.
She looks over at her, at the many crewmates who are currently moving about doing repairs to the ship. Well, me and my boys we've certainly never stolen a ship out of port before, have we, boys? And they all give a rousing cheer at that. Well, I suppose we could always think to engage in that oldest and noblest of traditions.
I don't see how that will help us in this conflict.
Piracy, dear. Not fucking.
That's not normally what that's referring to.
Oh. Well, on this ship it is. So, we go across on land, steal one of their ironclads, take it up the coast, pillaging, pirating, doing all the things that they tried to hang me for. But now I'm sanctioned by a military force.
Chaos and confusion upon the enemy, yes.
She nods and looks to her crew. First Mate Janvier. How long until the lady-in-waiting is back to full strength, you think? About a week, Captain.
I do.
All right.
I do suppose it would be reasonable for someone else to handle such matters while you're otherwise occupied.
No, I think if someone's gonna go steal an ironclad and go pirating, it's gonna be me. All right. We'll leave. When do you all leave?
Do we know?
Ideally, you would leave in the morning.
Okay. Tomorrow.
she calls out, "All right, you whoresons, I need 20 of you. We're leaving in an hour, and we're going to go ruin the day of anyone who lives on Horn Bay." And there's a loud, rousing cheer at that. And she nods. Just remember, you all set me loose.
I believe that was some of the thought behind it, yes.
We'll set out today. We'll go to Silver Reach, steal a ship out of there, burn the port while we're there. Then we'll start sailing down the coast and take out anyone who comes looking for help.
Well, I'm sure you have plenty of preparations to see to before that. Might have a farewell this evening.
Well, we're going to leave within the hour if we're going to get there before you. So, how about this? When we take Fort Argenti, I'll sail their ship right into their own fort and we can fuck on the deck.
That's certainly quite a proposition. If you can accomplish it, I suppose it would behoove me to follow through on my end.
She grins. Goddamn right. All right. Get the hell off me ship. She smacks your ass. All right. Captain Akanai is on board, and they are going to be setting out within the hour to go hit up Silver Reach, and they're going to get drunk and steal a ship.
So by the end of the campaign, we're all getting arrested. We're all going to have a rap sheet that includes lewd and licentious behavior in public.
That's been
Wow.
Callie's goal the
Tech-
entire time.
Technically speaking, on the deck of a ship, that would be considered in this era, that would be considered a private space.
That's true.
So
That's
actually,
true. You can't be
as long as she's the captain of it, which she is by technicality standards.
right. Like if you were fucking somebody else and she didn't like it, then you'd be in trouble from her.
She could throw you in the brig.
Yeah,
But
but
it's her ship at that point. She can do what she wants.
exactly.
I see.
We're all
Getting
just
out-
playing exhibitionists, okay?
Getting out on a technicality. Awesome.
That needs to be a new lines
Getting
and veils
off on
question.
a technicality, I would say.
LOL.
All right, the rest of you. Who have we decided that we're going to send?
We've got 2 camps.
All right. Lay them on me.
We've got the Rain and Asuka camp and the Melly and Yuki camp.
I think Rain and Asuka. You'd be aware that Rain and Asuka are very distracted right now. They have a wounded commanding officer, and Arya is still missing. They are probably not interested in leaving on an assignment at the moment.
I was kind of wondering that too.
They would do so if they were ordered to. Obviously, they are soldiers, and they would follow your commands. But I would say that of those two, Yuki and Melly would be a much easier agree.
All right. I kind of was saying, I was kind of thinking like Asuka's a leader and she's probably still waiting for Ari. I forgot to mention that. Arya, I forgot to mention that chat, but I was thinking that. So, yeah, I know Brayley doesn't think she can lose Kelsa first, so he's being left behind. And I logically just figured Kelsey wouldn't make sense unless we were taking the airship, so.
Nice.
Yuki and Melisandre it is. Does that mean Goatsifer comes with us too?
Anywhere Melisandre goes, Goatsifer goes with.
Guys, we got
Hell
a 3 for
yeah.
2 deal.
I had
Goatsifer.
to explain Goatsifer to Crystal the other day.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not.
So you put out the
It was
summons.
fun.
And let you actually you guys would actually need to go to the dark side and let Yuki and Melisandre. So while Layla is busy convincing Captain Akanai, the other 4 of you make your way to the dark side where Kelsey Yuki and Melisandre are all currently staying. As with Layla, you have no problem getting on board the dark side, mainly because it is guarded by Melisandre, who, well, it's actually guarded by Goatsufer, but
He likes us, though. We're
Well-
cool.
yeah, and also Goatsufer doesn't really do anything when you approach. Goatsufer is busy eating from a hay trough that has been set up near on the bridge, and just Goatsufer like looks up but doesn't look at you because Goatsufer is blind, and
Hell yeah.
just looks back down and continues eating. And you're like, that's not a good guard.
I think he's the goodest goat guard.
Meh,
Mm-hmm.
Good goat
He's the
guard.
best.
meh.
We're gonna go see Melisandre now.
Yeah. Easy enough. As you dip below deck, Melisandre looks up and is like, Goatsufer, you had one job. And you just hear, meh.
He likes us too much to let you know that we're coming.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I suppose that is true. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back aboard the dark side.
Thank you. We have an important mission that, we will not be using the airship. Sorry, Kelsey. But we are wondering if Yuki and Melisandre, if you would be willing to assist us with it. And I will lay out the mission.
All right. Well, you explain what the mission is, and Melisandre, she sighs. Just one moment, and she goes over and starts pounding on a door. Yuki, wake up! It's like afternoon. Get up. And eventually the door opens. Yuki stumbles out in her pajamas, which is a kind of scant silky top and some shorts. And her hair is just complete bedhead. She is still holding a bottle of booze in her hand as she stumbles and sits down. Good morning.
Ooh. Maybe we should lie and say we're an intervention group.
You can try and intervene, but I am a cleric of Lockheed. I am the queen of interventions. Bring it on.
Well, this mission requires sobriety, I'm afraid.
Then I'll be sobriet for it.
I'll help you out. Brayley will grab the bottle and like start chugging it.
She raises her eyebrows.
I look at Brayley.
All right, this one knows how to party.
Ah.
All right.
Some hair of the dog.
Is that what we're drinking?
She nods. All right, so what are we doing?
I explain the mission.
Cool. So, what? Eliminate soldiers till they give up, take the castle, and call it a day?
I suppose that is the long and short of it.
What do you think, Melly? Melisandre is just looking at her like, oh my god.
If perhaps this is not the good mission to start with, we can wait till we find one that's more airship friendly.
No. I think a little trip across land and some fresh air might do both of us well. Some of us more than others. And Yuki just gives a thumbs up from where she's sitting.
Oh god.
As she kind of leans forward, you see the back of her top. It's like a slit down the back. Her entire back, from the small of her back all the way up to between her shoulder blades, just has murals of tattoos all over it. And she kind of she falls asleep for a moment before waking up again. All right. Yeah, that sounds like, how far do we have to walk?
A while.
Cool. Yeah. No, I love it. Sure. I'm in. Let's do it. Melisandre just looks at her like, yeah, okay. Let's do this. We got this. I'll bring Goatsufer and ideally, the three of us will make 2 competent soldiers.
Right. Very good. Then meet us at some meeting place, I guess. At the Morrow?
No, yeah, you'll know in the morning. You would leave out the west gate.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Westgate in the morning. I'll make sure we both get to bed early and soberly, and we'll be good to go then.
Sounds excellent.
You can tell. Actually, everyone make an insight check.
I feel like I can tell because Nova's gone through this before.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll spend inspo on that. I feel like I should know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna inspo Ayla's too.
There we go. That's a lot better.
Insight.
Oh, fuck you, D&D Beyond.
Damn.
Oh, jeez, that's rude.
Damn. Okay. Brayley and Nova. Yeah. Obviously, Melisandre is embarrassed right now. I mean, her and Yuki are supposed to be here as soldiers,
Yeah.
and Yuki certainly is not living up to that. Although, on the other hand, they are also here as a favor called in by Kelsey, so they're not. It's not like they actually enlisted in the army,
Yeah.
but they are supposed to be acting like it. But more than that, I think you can both tell there must be something deeper at play here with Yuki, because she's like self-destructing.
Yeah.
She's a fucking mess.
Yeah. Nova, I think, recognizes very intimately what's at play here. And they're gonna look to Melisandre. Would you, I could use your help with something in the armory in an hour?
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to bring Kelsey? She's pretty good with that sort of thing.
Oh, we don't need to worry about Kelsey. Just bring yourself.
Sure. I'll be there in an hour.
Perfect.
To give someone time to get cleaned up.
Of course.
Yuki gives a thumbs up.
Of course. I will see you there.
Of course.
Brayley's gonna shake the bottle. Do you have more of this? What is this?
Oh, I've got plenty more.
Brayley.
Don't worry.
Dear, how about we leave it after celebrations? Yes?
Oh, this isn't like a breakfast liquor?
I think
You were
that-
having breakfast, right, Yuki? This is breakfast?
She goes, dinner, midnight snack, breakfast. Yeah.
I think there is no differentiation on this one.
Oh. Brayley doesn't have much experience with the problem drinkers.
Yeah. If we have nothing else, I will talk to the group once we leave.
Yeah, no, you're able to, you depart the ship kind of shortly after. You got them to both agree, so
Yeah,
your
yeah.
mission is accomplished in that way. But yes, you all step off the ship.
I am going to talk with Melisandre. I have some concerns about Yuki. And, well, Melisandre seems like a... Sorry, you caught me off guard. Melisandre seems like a sweet girl with a very difficult situation on her hands with someone she loves. And I can understand that. So,
Ramiel, you know, I mean, if Nova's going to talk to Melisandre in an hour in the armory, you know that at that time, Yuki will be by herself, in theory.
Nova is taking the angle of talking to Melisandre because she has been in problematic relationships before.
Yeah.
And feels a lot for Melisandre and would like to give her some support. Because I think they would start yelling at Yuki, and it's probably not the best approach right now.
So, I guess to that end, about an hour later, You are waiting, Nova, in the armory,
Mhm.
and it's around that time that indeed Melisandre arrives. She is wearing just simple leathers, as well as some black boots, and she is quite well put together. She's got her makeup done, and her hair is pulled back into a neat ponytail as she enters in, and she gives a polite nod of the head to you. What song do I want for this? She nods and looks at you. I'm very sorry for that show this morning.
You have nothing to be sorry for. How long has this been happening?
I would say it's been pretty bad for about a year now.
How long have you been together?
Since I was... Well, I met her when I was 7. We've been together... Well, we've been thick as thieves, as it were, since then.
I understand that well. Someone in your position can feel responsible, but it's not your fault. Nor is it your responsibility.
It's not. Please don't misunderstand. I love Yuki very, very much.
You do.
A year ago, she suddenly changed. She doesn't like to talk about it, but she saw something. She had a vision. And then when she started talking to the church about what she'd seen, they excommunicated her for it. And since then, everything's gone wrong, it feels like. I think she's given up hope at this point.
Hope for what exactly?
She said a year ago that she spoke to Lucky. Which doesn't make any sense. Lucky has passed and has moved on. Even the Whispers in Silence told us that though she had stuck around as the goddess of heroes, she has now died and moved on. But she was adamant that she spoke to Lucky.
I have to tell you, hearing strange voices in your head is not the strangest thing I have heard.
She didn't hear a voice in her head.
What
She
happened?
says she was there and talked to her in person.
What sort of conversation?
She says that Lucky tried to tell her that it's all going to end soon. That the way things have been since the dawn of this world is about to end. And, I mean, I didn't know what to do with that. The church certainly didn't. But she's adamant that it's true. And don't get me wrong, she's always been, since she turned 14, she's been kind of rebellious, you know? She's been kind of fast and loose with the rules. That's always been the thing, but this is a whole new level for her. She's melting down.
She's self-destructing.
Yeah, she didn't abuse drugs and alcohol before. That wasn't her game. Sure, she got a tattoo or she'd get mischievous and be a bit of a prankster. Like, that was always her, as long as I've known her. this is different. Whatever she saw scared her, and the people she counted on to be there and to take it seriously didn't.
And so she believes that any day could be her last day then.
That's about the long and short of it. She believes that the world is ending and no one's going to do anything to stop it. Or even take seriously that it is ending.
How has that been affecting you?
Look, I'm not like any of the Whispers or like her. I was a little blind girl who learned how to wield a dagger from my mom. They do these crazy things. I was like, what growing up was. It was these incredible heroes that called themselves my family, and I didn't know what I was supposed to do with that. I wasn't like them. I wasn't important to the story. That's just... What am I supposed to do for that? All I can do is be there for her and try and tell her it's going to be okay. Try and keep her from going too far over the edge.
You're doing all you can do. I believe that. But you're not unimportant.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
No, I know it. This group I'm part of, they are all very important people. I was born to a prostitute and I didn't even know my father's name. We all, just because we come from humble beginnings or even have very humble powers or abilities, that's not what makes us important.
Parents, am I right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
I am not expecting you to not struggle with this. I still struggle with it every day I'm with this group. I don't even know why I'm here half the time. But I see you and I see myself at your age.
Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
My mom told me once. Well, my father and his friends, they didn't beat Scala the first time they fought her. They lost. Of course, all the history books don't say that. All the history books say they defeated her in her dominion, and that was the end of it. But he says that they lost, and it was by a divine intervention that they were sent to another time where Scala ruled everything. And in that time, in that place, me and Yuki were heroes. Some of the last heroes in the world. And that my death is what spurred them on towards their ultimate victory. And I know he meant well in telling me that. He wanted me to believe that in that world that I was a hero. And yet I couldn't help but wonder if the best thing I could have ever done for this world was die for it.
I step forward and offer Melisandre a hug.
She hugs you.
I don't know anything about magic and red demons and timey-wimey bullshit.
Sure.
You have a massive heart. You love so strongly. It can feel like a curse sometimes, but it's a gift. But to know that that love is important, not just for others, but for yourself.
She looks at you. This war, when Yuki first told me about her premonition or her vision or whatever it is that happened, I thought, like everyone else, oh, she had a nightmare. And who wouldn't? The world is on the verge of tearing itself apart, it feels like sometimes. But the more I've been here and the more things I'm seeing, the more I think maybe she's right. Maybe the world is ending.
Then let me tell you something. A little secret. All of us, our little group, we were met with a vision. All of us. By the Prime Goddess, right? By the Prime Goddess, apparently. I know no such things. She said we were called for something bigger that this war would bring. Maybe Yuki's vision is correct, and maybe, much like the whispers and silence, it is simply one way the tale could end. I don't think we can give up hope yet, because I'll tell you one thing. I would much rather die trying than sit back and let it burn at my feet. And I hope Yuki sees that too, someday.
Let me ask you. You come from similar background as me.
That's right.
Do you ever look around at all this and think, this world doesn't deserve to be saved?
Every day. But do you know what I look at instead when that happens? I look at the people. The people I care about. The people I want to see when I wake up and when I go to bed again. And then I remember that if they're in this world too, then maybe I can't be all that bad.
Thank you, Nova.
You're welcome. I hope things with Yuki get better, but I want you to know that you are very strong to be by her side, but it is okay to get help for yourself too.
Maybe I'll talk to Kelsey and see if, and let her know what I'm dealing with.
I think that would be good. You deserve support.
Thanks.
Anyway, don't bother cleaning the armor. I already did that, so we can go.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
back on the dark side,
There's cookies there.
Ramiel, you wait until you see Melisandre leave and then step up onto the dark side. Kelsey's also off the ship right now. She's out buying some supplies, which means that it is just Yuki on board at the moment. And she is down below. She's managed to get actually into her day clothes now, which is a good step for her. And as you go down, she has a cigar in her mouth and is exercising while smoking, which is probably not the greatest combination ever. But as you come down below, she kind of flashes a grin, holding the cigar in her teeth. Ramiel, right?
That would be me.
Nailed it.
Yes, you did. quite surprised in your state.
No, no. Look, I promise that I look worse than I feel, or I feel worse than I. No, yeah, I got that right the first time.
Mind if we talk for a little bit?
She hops up, grabbing hold of one of the overhead beams, and starts just doing pull-ups. You're welcome to talk. She starts to pull herself up.
Well, it's less talk and more ask questions. Mainly, how did you find yourself in service of the Mitra Glorianda roster?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was actually only recently. Kelsey decided to call in a favor that Melisandre owed her, so here we are. Before that, we were traveling on Undwar.
Oh, well. I feel a little bad about that. I didn't mean to pull you away from personal business.
Oh, don't be silly. There's a war going on when we're just out there vacationing. No, don't worry about it. Kelsey is a good person, and if she needs help, we're going to be here to help.
You have peculiar way of showing that you want to help.
She kind of raises an eyebrow. I was there for the Battle of Red Rock, and I'll be ready to go tomorrow. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Thank you for the follows, everybody. We're running our weekly session of Mother's Jail. Roll it again. I dig that. Welcome in, everybody. But yeah, no, don't worry. I'll be ready to go by tomorrow. I didn't think we'd be getting back into the action today.
Well, it's like you said, we are at war.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know. Take a look around. We've been at war for what now? 15 years? 20 years?
Roughly.
Yeah, so what? Am I just gonna not have any fun for 20 years? Sounds horrible.
Fun is all well and good. The night at the tavern with everyone having a grand old raucous time, that was fun. Driving people away is not.
She lets down off the beam and kind of walks over to her. You got something to say to me?
I do.
Then you better say it right quick.
What's going on with you? The last time we spoke, you were fine. You and Yuki, you and Melisandre were doing okay. Next I see you, you are imbibing, you are smoking, you are throwing thinly veiled insults at Yuki, at Melly. Jesus. You're pushing her away. You are pushing a lot of people away, and I can't help but feel that there's something more to this than you would like to show?
Because it doesn't matter anymore, Ramiel. None of it matters anymore. It's all ending. Everything we fought for, everything that was sacrificed for, everything that anyone did over the last 30 years has amounted to bullshit. None of it matters.
A nihilistic approach to things.
Scala was right. What a shock.
And Ramiel's face hardens at that a little bit.
Yeah. I probably... Last few weeks, I haven't been able to use any of my magic. Guess that's what happens when your faith finally breaks, huh?
Oh dear.
They, I thought that when this world ended, it was going to end, it would go down fighting. I didn't imagine it would go out with a whimper. But I tried to tell them, Ramiel. You can tell that she is still very drunk, but she just kind of looks down. I tried to tell them that if they didn't muster the armies of Terrason and come here and put the Dawn Scale down, that everything that they had tried to rebuild, that all of it would mean nothing. They laughed at me. They called me a heretic. They called me a few other unsavory names. See, the funny thing about religion is everyone's real willing to support it when it serves the narrative. But when you go to them with reality and truth that doesn't work with their narrative, they will bend over backwards to let scripture wash away whatever you say. I talked to her. She told me what was coming, and they didn't want to fucking hear it. They didn't want to hear from their own deity because they didn't like what she had to say. That's when I realized they weren't the church of Lockheed. They were the church of their own self-righteous bullshit.
You spoke with her.
Yeah. Yeah. In the forest of the dead. I spoke with her. She had a warning that no one wanted to hear. And after 750 years of her sacrificing for us, the first time we had to do something for her, we failed her. So yeah, drink up and embrace oblivion because it's on the way. And we deserve it.
How does she look while
Drunk.
she's saying this?
Upset, angry.
Ramiel's going to reach out and take one of her hands. And just give it a gentle squeeze.
She looks at you.
Words fail me at the moment. That kind of burden would break someone in ways you would have. You would not have been able to imagine. But I never thought I took you to be someone who took that kind of stuff lying down. From the words, the stories, the anecdotes that Aunt Rialta, Uncle Martin, and the rest of the Whispers tell about you. You symbolize the hope for the future. They fought to ensure that people like you, people like me, could dream of the future. And to hear you so broken, so battered, it pains me.
I tried to tell them, Ramiel.
I know. I know you did.
No. I tried to tell my family. Varys, Carmen, Rialta, Caldana. I told them what I saw. And they told me that that was our responsibility now, that this was our world, that they had given it to us. The only one who listened was your mom.
In a way, they're right, Yuki. It's not up to them to save the world this time around. Their time came and passed. What they do now, they do because they want to do it, not because some form of divinity ushered them into such responsibilities, chose them to be the champions. It is the age of mortals, not the age of the divinity anymore. We can't continue relying on the whispers and silence to save us from whatever world-ending bullshit comes our way. They fought to give us the chance to step up and be the heroes we wanted to see in the world.
I want to show you something. I'm going to show you what I showed them. What they wouldn't see. And she turns and faces away from you and lifts her shirt up over her head, showing this mural down her back. And now that you can actually take a moment to look at it and recognize it, you know what it is. You saw a brief flash of it. On this mural is a tall, angelic woman embedded against a crystal with a large blade through her that is being held by a massive draconic woman. It's a depiction of Dragon imprisoning the Prime Goddess in her own prison. This is what she showed me.
So it's true then.
Yes. The Dawn Scale is Dragon. The first Dread Demon.
Well, we certainly have our work cut out for us.
Scala was defeated because the entire world allied against her. The other continents are only interested in this war so far as it lines their pockets.
And what about you? Barring Kelsey cashing in the favor, why do you continue to be here?
She glances down. Because Melisandre's here. And I love her.
And show it. Don't tell me. The world may not be as kind and forgiving as the mum's songs make it out to be, but I know my world has the whispers in it, has Orion in it, has Canis in it, has the mortals in it.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know about you, but I'm not about to let some doomsday prophecy break my spirit. And your tenacity, your strength and spirit far eclipses mine. You're the Unrater's daughter, for God's sake. Little firebrand, as your brother would put it.
make a persuasion check at advantage, because that rattled her. Cheap shot against me, bringing up her mom. Thank you, by the way. Very kind.
You know.
You know.
1, 2. Let's see what that. Okay, 26.
26 is pretty good, yeah. She is, when you mention the Onredo, she is shaken by it, and she glances down, and a tear slips down her cheek.
Do her proud.
That's a cheap shot.
I know. Did it work?
Yeah, it worked.
There's a girl. Now let's get you freshened up. You smell like...
Finish that sentence, I dare you. And she kind of gives a grin.
Well, let's get you freshened up. I happen to know of a nice bath, run by a what's her name? I had it on here. Run by an elderly woman named Ashandil. The waters in there will do you wonder.
You do.
And-
You take her over to get cleaned up for when she desperately needs it. I will say that you have helped both Melisandre and Yuki. I would say you
Team
have
effort.
you have advanced their friendship meter.
Yay!
Well done. While Yuki is not going to beat a substance abuse problem overnight,
No, certainly not.
definitely not. She will definitely backslide, and she'll definitely fuck up.
Few people do.
Yep. This will be at least a step in the right direction for her.
It's her
Um,
step one.
yeah, it is. It's her step one, and at least someone was willing to hear what she had to say and actually take it seriously, and that helps her immensely. So,
Yeah.
um, because indeed, the people who were supposed to hear what she had to say and listen did not. You all spend the day. A lot of it is preparing, getting your soldiers ready. You're hyping them up to go face a force of 8,000 that are in a fortress, which is a difficult battle in the best circumstances. You are sending the proper force, and it is well supplied, so morale is good for the campaign, especially as well as the Battle of High Wall went. I'm going to say this is like last chance for anything before you all leave in the morning if there's something you wanted to do.
I think Ayla probably has something with Nova and Asuka.
You got it.
But
I'm
that would
there,
be like right
sweetheart.
before we leave if anyone else has something.
Ramiel would ask Canis if they can see Orion together. And then maybe after that, like after your talk with Nova and Asuka, Ramiel would like to talk with Asuka as well. And Rain.
Okay. Carl, let's start with you.
I was gonna do it like on the way out, but I guess.
Oh, yeah, if you want to do it on the way, I mean, you're going to be marching, or you want to do it as you're leaving in the morning. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, sorry. Okay. Well, you are definitely, Romulo, definitely able to see Orion and Canis before you depart in the morning. Canis is super pissed off because the Navy is not being allowed to go. He definitely wanted to take his ship and the ships that sail under his colors, but he's not allowed to. So he mostly just tells you, don't fucking die. Orion has a similar message for you. It's you're actually surprised at how similar it is. It's almost word for word the same. Though he doesn't curse, because that would not be gentlemanly.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
But if there's anything you want to say to them, you can.
Well, I will strive to not die. That would be quite inconvenient if I did. Can't rightly leave you two alone with each other.
Well, you're damn right about that. Orion is the best he's looked since the injury. He's much more lucid today. And you sense that that's because they haven't had to give him nearly so many painkillers.
Nice.
And that is helping him to be more aware. But yeah.
Awareness is good.
Yep.
I would like to come back to both of you. It seems, well, oftentimes it's been me waiting to send you off and being all chitters for when you next return.
Well, I look forward to hearing that Fort Argenti is now, I don't know, Fort Jet or whatever we end up calling it once we take it over.
Well, I think I could think of a name.
When I get
No.
out of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Last name I proposed seemed to go over well.
When I get out of here, Ramiel, we're going to find your sister. She is my subordinate, and if I have to drag her back here clapped in irons, I will. I did not take that shot for her out on the beach for her to go throw her life away.
Well, she never was one to listen to anyone, so color me impressed that you managed to keep her in line the way you do. Command her respect the way you do.
Clearly not well enough. But yeah, don't worry. We'll find her. We'll get her back. Doctor even says I might get out of here in another week or so.
You better not be heading straight into the gymnasium.
Oh, Ramiel, don't be silly. I'm going to the mess hall first, then the gymnasium.
He's gonna eat.
Mess hall, then rehabilitation. Then maybe if the doctor permits it, then you can go to the gymnasium.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, I suppose this is what I signed up for. And he winks at you and kisses your cheek.
Good boy. As for you, Canis, keep him in line. He's surprisingly stubborn when he wants to be.
Not with me.
Oh, is that so?
He grins.
Just with me, huh?
He's a bit more of a brat with you.
Mm.
Jesus.
Um,
Well,
Yeah.
we certainly need to rein that in.
I find it exhilarating.
What, the brat part, or
Yes.
interesting kink?
You talk with them for a while longer before before you have to set out. In the morning, Ayla, as everyone's getting breakfast and getting ready to start their march, it's bright and early, but Asuka and Rain are both up to see you off. Yeah, of course, you're part of the group that's
She wanted me
heading
to
out.
be right. Anyway, sorry.
So yes, you are able to talk to them.
Yeah, I think Ayla probably just like wraps her tail around both of them and then is weirdly visibly nervous for her. Can we talk somewhere before we have to go?
You're the one with the wings, dear.
Well, let's grab Brayley too, so the polycule can be complete. Says Asuka.
Did that conversation happen?
I don't know, did it?
Not technically. If she wants to come, I don't want to force her. Do you want to be part of this conversation, Brayley? You don't have to be if you don't want to be.
I think we'll just leave it for you guys
Okay.
right now until we have that talk.
Okay.
So we have seat talk.
So then, yes, you, Asuka, and Nova all go to talk.
Or straight as I know that Ayla wouldn't know how to start this talk, and that makes it so much harder to start the talk.
So there's a dragging on silence till somebody prompts.
Something on your mind in particular?
Asuka boops your nose.
That's one why it's prompt.
No, I've had something. I've wanted to say it since, I died and came back, and now, like, the moment never seemed right, and now I'm going, and if I die again, who the fuck knows if I come back this time, and...
Yeah, I'll tell you, most people don't get a second go. I really would be surprised if you get a third.
I just...
On a count of three, just say it. One, two, three.
I just need you both to know that I love you.
There we go. Asuka.
Yeah, but, like, do you love me as a friend, or...
By the gods alive, Asuka.
I'm kidding. I love you too. I love you both.
Oh, that's right. I love you too, Asuka. I said I love you first to Ayla, so I should say it to you now.
Thanks.
Nudger.
You all are going to be fine, right? Right?
It's another mission. What could go wrong?
Yeah,
We're not
no, what
allowed
could go
to
wrong?
die.
Fiercely knock on some wood.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to help Orion get back on his feet, and we're going to find Arya, and then we're going to... I don't know why they
Knock
put
some
me in
sense
charge.
into her?
Well, definitely that. I'm looking forward to Orion being in charge again. I thought I wanted to lead this group. I was wrong. I don't want to lead nothing.
Good. For the best. That's okay. I understand. But
It's stressful and a lot of work.
it is.
Leading the Thieves Guild was a lot more fun.
But your life was always on the line.
Oh, yeah, well, that doesn't bother me as much. I just, this is a lot of paperwork and, like, other people's lives being on the line, and that sucks.
Well,
Wait, shit. Are we supposed to be dealing with paperwork?
Wait, you don't have to do the paper? Oh, you guys get to work for Allspeth.
she does it for us. I think 'cause she doesn't trust us, but that is a different matter
Hmm.
altogether.
Yeah, I heard about
Isn't that she
Ramiel's
the-
little escapade.
I know! Exhibitionist, apparently.
And he gets cheers when he comes back.
I
and what do we get?
know!
It's on the fucking boat.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm not sure we have any room to talk.
No, but we didn't get the cheering.
That's true, although they fucked in the street. We fucked in a church where there notably wasn't a lot of people.
All right, well, new plan.
Agreed.
Anyway.
Church and then the street.
Anyway. I love you both also. And Asuka, you do your job. We'll do ours. And we'll come back.
People may not have cheered, but they probably prayed for you. Thank you, Braylon. That is outstanding and probably accurate.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers for the polycule.
You all depart in the company of 16,000 soldiers, a utterly massive force that traverses the land across Mother's Jail. The path to Mother's Jail, or to Fort Argenti is, while there are roads, they are mostly, they're not particularly well traveled. Fort Argenti was established during the war versus Silverreach, which is a city that was there for a very long time beforehand. You know that Captain Akanai went ahead, taking the path through the Red Peaks to get to Silverreach, hoping to be there before you had the army to Fort Argenti, and the timing should work out pretty well. It's roughly 2 days' march to Fort Argenti, though you guys slow up a little bit in your pacing because you want to arrive ready to fight and not exhausted, and also make sure you give the good captain enough time to commandeer a ship and go wreak some havoc. Thoughts and prayers. That should be, instead of the mortal reminder, that should be y'all's name.
Yeah, I know. We picked the wrong name.
I like that Mal and I arrived at that at the exact same time.
Thoughts and prayers. That's what I'm calling y'all from now on.
No,
We
I
deserve
think
it.
I think we're still the mortal reminder, but that is definitely our motto.
Yeah, there
What
you
are
go.
what we are mortals reminding of us of what? Thoughts and prayers.
No, the polycule is named Thoughts and Prayers. That's what it is.
That's
Mhm,
fair.
mhm.
But yeah,
Ironically, does not include declaring.
yeah, that's ironic. But you all march for 3 days.
She's praying for us. that's
Travel.
why.
It is it's not too bad. The weather holds out. It's good for you. You're able to move your siege equipment along because of that. I think what's most surprising is the lack of like scouting units that you run into. You would expect to run into at least some scouts from the Silver Horde that are there to, watch for an oncoming army and ride back to let them know, hey, there's a bunch of soldiers coming this way. Now, whether that's because of, like I say, the Silver Horde has been very disengaged with this war for a very long time or not, you don't know. But you're surprised at how peaceful I think the journey there is.
That's good.
Your soldiers remain in good spirits. They are, fresh off a rousing victory at High Wall and Fort Red Rock and Fort West Road. So they're excited to be getting the jump. Everyone wants to be on the offense in war because being on the defense sucks.
It does.
It's much easier to, while it's not easier to do being on the offense, it is much better for spirits. Because attacking a fortified position is always very difficult. But being under siege is a nightmare. But you journey for 3 days before you finally arrive on the outskirts of Fort Argenti. You know now that you are about 3 hours march from Fort Argenti. Your commanding officers approach you to let you know. They salute. We now stand about 3 hours march from Fort Argenti. This is going to be our probably last chance to recover. Any closer, we might be in raiding range.
Very good. Very good.
Hopefully
Excuse me.
all is well.
Do you have any final orders for the soldiers? And yes, all seems well.
Keep your energy for the soldiers who are here.
Rest up, yeah.
Yes, rest up. Keep your energy for the soldiers with weapons against us.
And see to it that we stress the importance that no harm comes to any civilian.
That was my next point.
Yes, of course. We're civilians are not to be harmed.
An excessive force is intolerable.
Very good, ma'am. Sir.
We are here not to. We are here not to bring destruction, but rather occupation.
Understood. I will relay your orders to the men and inform them that those who break those commands will be punished severely.
Yes.
He salutes.
My rapier.
Yes. With that, you all resume your march. Well, you rest up first and
And then we march.
resume your march.
During the rest, could I talk with Braley?
Sure. Braley, while you are resting up for this last time before it's time for the battle, Ramiel approaches you.
This masculine person. I'm just kidding.
The twink approaches you.
The twink approaches at clock speed. Braley, can we do you have a moment to talk?
Yeah. What's up, Rare Man?
Well, it's good to see you're in high spirits. I just wanted to check up on you as it so happens.
Oh. Okay.
You
Well, they're having a barbecue over there.
I'm really hungry.
I couldn't help but notice that you've had a bit of an aversion to your mushrooms.
Oh.
It wouldn't have anything to do with that last encounter with Gus, would it?
Really winces at when you say Gus. You know, I've dealt with a lot of mushrooms. I always admired them and how different they are, and obviously some are nicer than others, but I've never been eaten by one before.
And this has affected you.
I have a. Oh, yeah,
You're a
I
lot
think
more.
so.
You're a lot more anxious, like a deer.
Uh, Gosh, it must seem real bad on the outside. I mean, I'm still kind of processing it all, but Ram, like you should know, like you almost went down in battle too, and I think that shakes you. And I've never gotten that close before. We got very lucky with Gus.
We did. And loath as I am to say it, it's not my first brush with death. After you see Scholar and her minions raise everyone and everything that you love, a lot seems more tame in terms of scale.
How do you deal with it? With almost dying and almost losing people, it just seems to have happened again and again.
I try not to deal with it alone.
But how do you deal with it?
I repeat stories and songs my mother would tell all of us. Words that paint the world as a bright, a shining, a warm place, comforting. As well, I've unfortunately seen ugliness, darkness, and it creates this sort of dissonance between how she sees the world and how I've seen it. It's not easy. I still wake up sometimes seeing the light leave my mother's eyes. I still see the glint of the sword as it runs Elspeth's mother, through when she dared defy Scarlet, refused to surrender. I could still feel the warmth leave the body of this fellow who, in his desperation, had jumped me, intended to make his next meal out of me, and for better or for worse, I managed to fight him off. These experiences, these moments, Braley, they have a way of sticking with you.
I'm seeing that. It's hard not to feel, hard not to see those things when you close your eyes. But I guess we have to just keep going. We don't have a choice.
You always have a choice, Braley. If there's one thing the Whispers instilled in me, it's the fact that mortals were given the greatest gift of all, choice. We can choose to be better. We can choose to keep going on. We can choose to keep hope alive. There is always a choice. And I hope, really, that you can choose to share these experiences, these moments, these thoughts that you have with someone else, someone you can trust. Calcifer, as loath as I am to say it, well, he seems to care a lot for you. And as much as I give him a hard time for it, well, he's never backed down.
But he wasn't there when I needed him, when I needed somebody.
And
It
you're
was
going to
it was
let-
us. It was us trying to get through it, trying not to die, and we got. But you're right. I need to figure out a way to be more open and express myself than keeping it in and letting it fester.
Bottling emotions up have a way of making themselves known.
Yeah.
And really,
Ram.
Calcifer may not have been there for you with the encounter. But I think, I know, he cares a lot for you. The man spoke up to his mother because he wanted to be with you. He left his post voluntarily, his titles, to be with you. Whatever changes that you've been going through, and there have been a lot of them. Quite a fan of this one. You have quite the expressive ears and tail. But
Oh, what are they saying now?
they're saying that you are sad, you're scared, that you don't want to be alone. The way your tail droops, the way it tries to hide between your legs, the way your ears flatten. They're very honest.
They do that themselves. I really like. I feel like I don't have any control.
Well, again, it is your body being honest about how you feel. And if even a dumbass like me can see that you may need someone to talk to listen to, well, you'll always have me at your side. I stand by my, let's call it my observation. I stand by my observation that you are someone very special, Braylee Tourmaline. You have something that only you can offer this world.
Wow. No one's ever said that to me before.
Calcifer has not said that. Well, then, have a bit. I might have a word with him again.
Calcifer said that almost verbatim back
Oh,
in
did he?
back in Jet's Ambition.
Oh shit. Well, Brayley forgot.
It's okay. I'm sorry. Poor Calcifer.
It
doesn't
really
matter.
time that
Try
was
so
forever
hard.
ago.
Really does.
I try so hard.
She heard it now. It's okay.
Yeah. You two talk for a while longer before it's time to get on the march again. Ramiel, as you stand up to walk back to your post, you see across the camp, Yuki is leaning up against Melisandre, who's stroking through her hair.
Progress.
Yep. But you all set out, and you march 3 hours. The hilly terrain here, you can see why normally this is a difficult march because, well, the terrain is not conducive for siege equipment. But you, without being harried, you're able to make that trip fairly unimpeded. Cresting the last hill before the descent down to the coast, you certainly don't see the great fortress of Fort Argenti. Instead, what lays before you is a smoldering ruin. The once strong fortress has been reduced to naught but rubble and smoking ash. But that's not what draws your attention. What is more pertinent is the graveyard this place has become. Before the ruins, what looks like an unending sea of spiked crosses. Thousands upon thousands of them, and each one holding a corpse. Blood drains from the thousands of men, women, and children upon these spikes, forming a river that runs towards the bay, painting it red. Standing amid the myriad bodies, a single living person continues to walk among the carnage. They are tall, well over 8 feet of solid muscle, and are covered in ivory scales stained red.
Jeez.
Their eyes are pure jet black, and they have an utterly massive spiked maul on their back that you recognize to be the largest tooth you have ever seen. Even today, lightning crackles off this tooth of azure. Walking among these corpses is the Dawn Scale.
What?
Oh. Alright then.
Can someone
What?
detect magic?
What horrible.
Is this actually him?
The carnage is unbelievable. The amount of blood, death, viscera, gore, as the Dawn Scale starts to seize this army mounting now on the hillside and smiles as she starts to approach.
What is he
Basically just
doing?
stammer out word fragments. Speechless.
As she speaks, though she is not shouting, her voice carries across the entire plain. It's like you hear it in the back of your skull when she speaks. Ah, the vaunted Operation Sword Crown. Late to the party, yet here nonetheless. Welcome to Fort Argenti. And she says and smiles with a mouthful of gnashing fanged teeth.
This is not.
What have you done?
How far is she?
Right now, she is well down the hill, so she's probably about 500 feet away.
How do we approach this? This is not what was part of the plan.
Come, parley with me.
What does parlay mean?
To speak.
Negotiate.
Or is it the retreat?
I don't think I want to get closer than this.
Order the retreat. Have everyone.
Let's
Go.
go. This crime must be answered for.
Who will be descending to speak with the Dawn Scale?
Layla will go.
Ayla.
Everyone, I think,
Nova,
will
I
go,
guess.
but
Well, Braylon
Ramiel,
Brayley will go.
Ramiel would want to turn to Yuki and Melly. Go,
Yuki her eyes are locked on the Dawn Scale. That's her.
Yuki.
Yeah.
Order the retreat. Back to High Wall. Inform General Tashira and Commander Elspeth.
Yes, ma'am.
We need
Send
someone
word
Or yes,
out.
sir.
We need
Send
someone
word
active.
out to Captain Akanai. Retreat.
Yes, sir. And you see them prepare this army to about face. As you all descend down, the Dawn Scale doesn't seem to react, just watches you as you approach. And it is only as you get close that you see just how massive they are. You have to look up at them. They tower above you. And they don't reach for their weapon or anything. They just glance down at you all as you approach.
What have you done?
She glances back. They chose not to surrender. The Argenti have, for too long, been a thorn. They have decided to continue fighting a fight that is pointless, that they cannot win. I decided it was time that they see firsthand that they cannot win. To that end, in 1 week's time, I invite you and your leadership to meet with me to discuss your surrender. It is time that this pointless war come to an end, that we unite under one banner, that we go to unite this entire world under one banner.
No. Go to hell, dragon.
They pause at that, and they kind of smile. Now, how did you come across that information, I wonder?
My
Not
mother.
really that hard if you know where to look. Your mushroom child also. They have blabbed.
Ah. I wondered what that was. So you're the ones who defeated the prototype. You're the ones who defeated my prototype fungus. Impressive. Her eyes fall to Ramiel, but no less than I would expect from Melody's child.
Where is she?
Serving her purpose.
And what would you have her do?
Dragon just smiles. A long time ago, she told me that she was going to show me a better world. I'm taking the liberty of showing her my vision for it.
And this sort of gesture, is this what you have to offer?
To those who resist, yes. I offered
You're a
them
monster.
peace. Oh. That is frequently what history's losers say about its winners. Believe me, I've seen all of it. I've watched from the void. I've watched your people destroy each other time and time again. This will be the last time. One final cleaning of the slate. Then my mother's failed experiment can finally come to an end.
Where is Melody?
Dragon looks at you. Would you like to come see her?
I want her back.
Very well. Come with me then. I will take you to her. Just you.
No harm comes to my companions.
Man, this doesn't seem like a good idea.
Swear to it.
I concur, this doesn't seem wise.
I have my own assignment for them. Each of you, go. Convince the leaderships of this world to lay down their arms. Prepare. We will all march under the banner of Dragon soon.
March
Go.
where?
To hell.
Dragon kind of smiles. You will go to Caldana. I think she'd get along well with you. She snaps her fingers, Ayla, and you vanish.
Wolf.
When you next are aware, you don't know how long has passed, you are in a freezing cold mountain peak somewhere. Snows, the wind's driving. She looks at you, Nova. Do send the little dwarf girl my regards. She snaps her fingers, and you vanish as well. You wake up on a beach somewhere.
Oh, damn it.
You're not sure. You can tell it's somewhere far away. The weather has changed. She looks at you, Layla. I won't curse you with having to go speak with that long-winded fool. Go. Convince Fate's daughter. And she snaps her fingers, and you are sent to Kaldanesh. Looks to you, Brayley. And what about you, little girl? Why don't you just surrender now? Come, kneel before me, and you may serve in my army. You will never need no fear again.
That's not gonna happen.
Such a fighting spirit. Very well, then. Go to Mitra Glorianda. Convince those stupid fools to prepare to lay down their arms. Tell them that I will personally lead an army to the moon and obliterate it. And she snaps her fingers, and you vanish. And then she looks at you, Ramiel. Well, shall we go see Mommy Dearest?
And Ramiel straightens up. Yes, grandmother.
Dragon smiles and leans down. No matter what happens, I want you to remember only this. I couldn't have done any of this without her. And you two vanish. And that's where we'll wrap up for tonight.
This is not the mission I was expecting. Man, I had such a cool idea for